Guys, you're welcome to my kitchen. It's Nikspicykitchen. So on today's cooking, guys, we are making Ikokore. This is a Nigerian dish from the Ijebus, and these are the Ogun State part of Nigeria. I'll be introducing you to all my ingredients that we are using for today's cooking. I've got my water yam here. So I might not finish all of this because we are just making little. I'm not making much, so I'll be using my water yam. I have my fish here. This is mackerel fish. Here is my red prawn, roasted one. I have my pepper here. This is my scotch bonnet, my onions, and also my plum tomatoes. That's all going for blending. I've got my crayfish here. I've got my seasoning here. I've got my egg here. You'll be wondering, what are we using egg for? We're using it for Ikokore. We're using salt to taste, and here is my salt to taste, and we're gonna be using some palm oil. So guys, let's get it started as we proceed further. So first thing first, I will be boiling my fish, the mackerel fish. I will add that in a pot. I'll be adding some seasoning. I'll add some salt to taste, and also I'll be adding some hot water because I want to hasten the process of boiling. So I'm going to leave that to cook without cover. Then I'm going to move next onto my red prawn. I'm going to take off the head because I want to be blending the head with the pepper. So after doing that, I'm going to be adding hot water into the body of the prawn, because that's how I'm going to soften it a bit and also wash it. So I'm using hot water. So I'm going to set that aside. After which, it's time to blend that pepper. So I'll be adding the pepper into my blender. So I'm going to cut out my onions and slicing some onions inside. Then I'm going to add my tomato plum. Some don't actually use tomato for Ikokore, but I do. I love it. So I'm going to add that tomato plum. Add some little water to rinse it off. Then I'll be blending that. But I'm not blending to a smooth paste, if you understand. Oh, sorry. I went in with my red prawn. The head of the red prawn I took out. So I'm going to be blending all that together. Don't forget, like I said, I'm not blending smooth. So after that is done, I'm going to set that aside. Then we're going to move on to our water yam. So I'm going to be peeling off the water yam. And this process I'm doing, I don't know what it's called. If someone can help me out, is it miling or is it milling? I don't know. So after peeling off the water yam, I'm going to wash it thoroughly. Then I'm going to mile with a manual. Is it miler? I don't know what it's called. If someone can help me out, but I really know what I'm talking about. You see the process, then you can understand what I'm talking about. Is it miling? I don't know. Just help me out. Yes, so this is the manual miling or miler or whatever it's called. I don't know, but I usually call it manual blender. Though it's not a blender, but I think it's a miler. If I'm right, I think it's a miler. So I'm going to be miling the water yam. I don't know if I'm correct. Someone should correct me if I'm not correct though. So that's how I'm going to go through all the water yam. I'm going to do that process. Then I'm going to, after I'm done, sorry, then I'll be pouring everything in a bowl. And we're going to set that aside. I'll move on to the next one. Yeah, that's me putting it in the bowl. So now we're going to start cooking. So now I'm going to add in my palm oil into a pot. So I'm going to be measuring the palm oil. As for Ikokore, you need enough palm oil, if I'm correct. Then I'm going to be adding 3 cooking spoon into my pot. So I'm gonna let that heat up for probably 3 to 4 minutes or less. So now I'm going to go in with my onions. So I want the onions to fry a bit. I'll be stirring that and allow it to fry for a few seconds, minutes, thereabouts. So now I'll be going in with my pepper mix, the pepper we blended. I'm going to add it to the heated onions. So I'm going to be stirring that thoroughly. So now I'm going to be adding the fish stock from the fish we boiled. I'll add it to the pepper, and I'm going to stir that. And also I'm going to add the prawn. Do you remember the prawn I set aside? So I've drained the water, then I'm going to put it in and let that cook for probably 15 minutes or thereabouts. So now I'm going to like shred my fish. That's the boiled one. Sorry. So I'll be shredding that. I hope you understand what I mean by shredding. That's the shredding. So that's just what I'm talking about. So now I'm going to check if our stew is cooked. Yes, cooked. So now we're going to go in with our seasoning. Yes, as you can see, the oil is a bit settling on top of the soup. So that's the seasoning added. I'm gonna add my salt to taste. So I had a little salt because I'm still gonna add salt to the Ikokore, the water yam. So I don't want everything to be salted, so I had to be very mindful of the salt I'm adding. So now I'm gonna add the fish, the shredded fish, and I'm gonna stir that thoroughly. And I'm gonna leave that to cook probably for like 5 minutes. We're coming back. So now I'm gonna cover that to cook. So the next process now is to go in with a Ikokore. But firstly, before I go in with it, I'm gonna be adding some egg. This is optional. That's if you want it. It's not a must, but I usually add 1 egg depending on the quantity I'm making. So I'm gonna add some crayfish and also pinch of salt, and I'm going to be mixing that together thoroughly. Like, I wanted to use the spoon, but I'm like, no, it's not going to give me what I want. It's going to be properly mixed. So now I'm using my hand to mix thoroughly. You know, when I said thoroughly, I'm going to be mixing the egg with it. I don't know if you notice when I mix the egg, you can see it's not that drawing like when I first mile it, but now you can see it's a bit lighter, and that's the way I usually like it. That's the main reason why I usually add egg to it. So now it's time for us to add Ikokore. No water, yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna be going that I'm gonna be scooping it with my hand and giving it, I'm gonna be scooping it little by little into the soup. And that's gonna be till I finish everything in that bowl. So I'm just gonna go back and forth, add it, then I'm gonna stir, so that everything can spread thoroughly, evenly in the pot. So I'll keep going back and forth with that till I finish up the whole water yam in the bowl. That's the last one. So now I'm going to be adding little water because I don't like it too thick. So that's the reason why I'm adding water. So I'm going to add the remaining crayfish and I'm going to give it a thorough stir. As you can see, it's not too thick because mainly some people like Ikokore to be very, very thick. Me, I don't like the too thick one. I'm a no fan of too thick. I love it, you know, slightly light than too thick. So I'm going to be stirring that thoroughly. Ikokore is done. Our Ikokore is done. Yes, you know, when you do it like that, you just need to just cover it for a few minutes, and before you know it, within 5 to like 7 minutes, it's done. Though I put it on a very low heat. Now I'm going to be scooping that out into my bowl because I want to have a taste. Like, I can't wait. You don't understand what the aroma is giving me where I was cooking. So guys, that's the finish of the Ikokore. Sorry, that's the real pronunciation, Ikokore. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. Your comments count a lot. Have a wonderful and a peaceful week. Bye guys.